What is up, everyone? I'm seeing familiar names in the chat, guys. We are back, and literally, I've missed you guys. I'm not even kidding. I think the last time we went live, it was Tuesday, because Wednesday and Thursday, we have the private streams in the evening inside of the TCT trading community, and Friday, we couldn't. So it has literally been almost a full week. And honestly, I have too much to talk about. Like, too many things to discuss. There's so many narratives going on in the crypto market at the moment regarding super cycles, 200K targets, other people calling for bear markets, but not that many. And it's kind of all over the place. And if you have an opinion that's not in line with the general public's view, you get absolutely flamed on the socials, which is a strong indicator on where we are actually at in the cycle. So I got so many things to talk about. I want to jump straight into it as soon as possible, but we're joined by no one other than Mr. Wyckoff Insider, who is currently in Bali. And Tim already says it. 3 a.m. Bali time question mark. Where is 3 a.m. question mark? He's killing it for you guys. He cannot miss it, He needed to be there, and he's here. And you got any words for the people in the chat?
Guys, time to put the work in, and we're gonna crush this cycle. Let's go.
That's the energy that we need. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. I'm gonna give the people another minute to join. I'm seeing the viewer count go up because like everyone needs to be aware of what we are going to be discussing today, because the main focus of today will definitely be on where are we at in the cycle, and we're just gonna look at data. We're not gonna make an exception because of a potential narrative. No, we're just gonna look at the data, look at what happened in the past, give out levels that resonate with potential topping points for Bitcoin, and see what we can make off of it, and then make a plan. Now, when I'm referring to making a plan, right? A plan is not a single prediction. A plan is laying out multiple scenarios and then giving the confirmations that you need to watch for to confirm one of those scenarios. Okay? We always say it. We do not predict, we react. So, what I am going to show you guys is not a prediction, okay? It's just potential scenarios that we can watch for. And based on the data that we are going to get in the future, we can make a confirmation, okay? And I think that tiny aspect already is something that's way overlooked in the crypto market in general, because people are only talking about predictions, but the most of the predictions are 200K targets. Now, in general, if you have your expectations higher, you truly have nothing in your favor. You can only lose, because you cannot only lose, because if you do hit your target, you quote unquote win, right? But you're setting yourself up for failure, because if it doesn't hit the target, you have never spoken about a potential other scenario. People that don't understand preparing scenarios and what it's like to be a trader inside of the crypto markets, they will call you someone that flip-flops narratives. We do not flip-flop narratives. We just prepare every scenario and based on the data make a confirmation. But if you only have your expectations higher, you're just setting yourself up for potential disappointment. Where if you keep your targets realistic and you're only going to make a decision based on a confirmation, and if we're going to go higher, you're not going to get a confirmation to short, everything extra is a bonus, right? If Bitcoin goes to 200K, we'll make a lot of money. If Bitcoin goes to 120, we'll make a lot of money because we've prepared for every single scenario, right? So, in general, if I have to give an expectation, my expectations will always be based on basic pattern recognition, which in this cycle, right, is diminishing returns over time combined with normal timing, right? Combined with USDT dominance charts. And that's it. It's very simple. I'm not doing anything fancy here. Now, if we for some reason decide to totally skip basic patterns that happened in the past because of something that actually ended up defeating those patterns, I'll gladly see it happening because we will still be on the right side because we need to wait for the confirmations. Okay? So I think you guys get the point. We are here not to predict, but to react. But in able to predict accordingly, we need to prepare and lay everything out. So I want to take the stage. I'm already on the stage, but I need to have this off my chest. The first big question, it's the title of the stream, and it's where are we in the cycle based on data? Okay? So I'm going to make it extremely simple. Okay? I'm going to make it extremely simple. Even the map is called where are we in the cycle? Like, it's very simple. Pull on the chart. Okay. What you see in front of your screen and on your screen, you can see in the black vertical lines, the bear market bottoms. Okay. And then in the red vertical lines, you see bear market tops previously. And then underneath, you can see timing. Okay, we can see 756 days, and this should also be 756 days. It's based because if I switch time frames to the 2 weekly, it's not an equal number with the 2 weekly leg, so it rounds it up. But every date is 756 days, and that is because currently on Bitcoin, from the bear market bottom to the current price action, it has been 756 days. So where are we at in the cycle is nothing more impressive or nothing more, hard to understand than to just measure from the bear market bottom to where we are right now. And you look at the previous cycles because we base it off a cycle theory of the 4-year cycle theory, right? It's that simple. So you can see right here in 2017, 756 days, we just reached that tipping point and we put in a higher low before having a move up that not so soon after, or very soon after, peaked out at around almost 20K. It's like 19.1 on the index chart. But that's basically what happened last time on the 756-day mark. We put in a higher low for the higher high, and then we had kind of this blow off top until we started our bear market. Now, the previous cycle, 756 days, Bitcoin was above its previous all-time high, and we just peaked on that first run. And we kind of saw our first 2-week pullback afterwards, exactly on 756 days. Okay? Right now, 756 days, we are also in price discovery, slowly grinding up. Can we expect a potential pullback? Well, if we look here, right here we saw an increase in price, not really giving a pullback, but this happened actually after the pullback. So you have to keep it like it's like generalized. Obviously, the 756-day mark is not going to be exactly the same each time. But you can see right here, prior to 756 days, we had a pullback before higher. And right here, right after 756 days, we had a pullback that went higher. So we're at that 756-day mark. Maybe we can go higher a bit and then get a pullback. Kind of extending it, because right here we saw a pullback on the date. Here we saw a pullback slightly after the date. Maybe we see a pullback even a bit more after the date of 756 days. Now, what's really should be, have your attention is the red boxes, because it's the price action from the date of 756 days up towards the bull market top of that cycle, which is represented right here in the red box and right here in the red box. And what, gives me the most security about my initial thought process of, not having a 200K target is that typically you can see the change in price action where we had the blow off top followed by kind of like a double top. Okay. And that's basically because more and more money flows into the market and there's more and more bullish news regarding Bitcoin, making it also harder to dump price into a bear market. It makes it harder to sell if there's so much bullish pressure. You have to truly fill massive positions in order to be able to completely switch the ratio between sellers and buyers and then dump price down. Where with the current narrative, it's even stronger. The current narrative is so strong regarding a super cycle because of the ETF and Trump taking office that is going to take a lot of selling pressure to be able to, reverse price back down in a potential bear market 6 to 12 months from now. And in order to fill such massive short positions, well, then that's going to take some time. And we can see the general, development of Bitcoin where we had a blow off top to a double top to maybe a triple top. This is basically just a base of pattern recognition in the chart. There's so much bull pressure that's going to take some time to get fully absorbed. Okay. And I'm on the logarithmic scale, guys. This box may seem little, but the box could potentially reach 150. Who knows? Okay. Because that's something we're going to get into right after this regarding price points. But from a timing perspective, where are we at? Well, last time we had the blow off top right after, had the aggressive expansion off blow off top. And then right here, after that 756 day mark, yes, we went higher. Don't get me wrong. We went from, 33 all the way to 66, which is a 2x. But the whole purpose of that move up was to distribute price, right? Literally, we had the distribution here before we had the double top. So the move up right now, because we were expecting a move higher of the current range that we were in, we can get a move up. I am expecting a move up, and we're seeing the move up. We're at 107K right now. But that move up could potentially be to start your first high time frame topping structure. And to start a range, you need to move up, and you need to move down, and you need to touch the equilibrium. So to confirm a high time frame topping range, you need to move up, you need to move down, and you need to touch the EQ, where this time will be your range. Okay? That's basically how you confirm a range and how you can confirm a potential topping structure point. Okay? So we could be right now, right here, where we get that move up that eventually ends up bringing us in this confirmed range that then distributes in some sort of kind. Okay? It doesn't have to be a perfect TCT model, doesn't have to be a perfect Wyckoff model, but in general, when we see exhaustion, and when we see, price potentially getting reversed, we will make you guys aware of it. Okay. I have seen way more than just Wyckoff patterns. I have seen everything. Exhaustion, PO3s, you name it. Okay. But from a timing standpoint, it's very simple. You just pull bear market bottoms, see where we were at previously around that 756 day mark, and then look at it right now and check what happened afterwards. Right. Now, some people argue that I think this was the low on a different exchange, and then you pull it more back, so you have even more upside to go. But that was also 2017. The thesis remains the same, that we had a move up before lower. Now, if that move up was even bigger because this was the actual low, that's fine. Okay, for 2021, it stays the exact same. So now the big question is, well, what is going to be the price target? Why not extend your box right here to 200K, right? Why not say something like this, where price could come up, and we could get like a triple top like this, like who knows, something like this. That would be picture perfect, but you get the general idea. Why not a topping structure around that 200K? Because this would also seem, based on the drawing, pretty realistic. Now, in order to use price targets, I like to use the USDT dominance chart. Okay, I like to use the USDT dominance chart, and I don't want to have these levels yet on my chart, but I like to use the USDT dominance. Why do I like to use the USDT dominance? Supply and demand POIs, or just in general, smart money concept POIs, which will be fair value gaps, breaker blocks, order blocks, and those are the main things, are way stronger than any fib level that you may have. So just because there is a FIP at 200K, or matter of fact, just because there is massive confluence in certain FIPs around 200K, that does not mean that you're going to reach that point. It just means that if you reach that point, it will probably be a significant point for a rejection. But just because you have a juicy POI doesn't mean that price have to go there. I think there's a lot of misconception regarding that because people talk about there being amazing targets or amazing FIP confluences with, a 200K target. That can be the case. That can be the case, but that doesn't mean that you have to go there, right? Doesn't mean that you have to go there. Now, your FIPs are typically used as a confluence based on there also being an order block, fair value gap, or breaker block. Okay, you can ask any high quality smart money concept trader out there. They use fibs in confluence with an order block, breaker block, fair value gap. They don't use the fib on its own. It's always in confluence. And the priority is the order block, fair value gap, or breaker block. Okay, that has priority. So when we are in price discovery, we obviously do not have an order block, a fair value gap, or a breaker block to watch for. But in case you guys don't know yet, we also have the USDT dominance chart. And the USDT dominance chart is anti-correlated to Bitcoin. So when the USDT dominance chart goes down right here and bottoms out on that blue dot, on that blue arrow, Bitcoin goes up and we top out at the same point. Okay, and you can see that's right here as well. This bottom is this top, is the exact same, and then you can see right here that these two double highs is this double bottom on Bitcoin. So they work anti-correlated, which is absolutely amazing for us because if Bitcoin goes up, that means the USDT dominance goes down. But on the USDT dominance chart, we actually have levels from a fair value gap, order block, and breaker block perspective that we can watch for that are stronger than any of your potential fibs in the future, higher up. Okay, so when looking at the USDT dominance chart on its own, what has it been doing? Well, for the people that have watched the TCT mentorship on YouTube for free, lecture 1 is all about market structure. So if we simply want to draw the market structure applying the 6 candle rule, we have been making higher lows and higher highs just like this. Higher lows and higher highs right here in the black, higher lows and higher highs. So we've simply been in an uptrend. What do we always say? The trend is your friend until the end of the trend. Now, if we look at where Bitcoin previously topped out, where did we bounce from on the USDT dominance chart? Well, would you look at that? You have this monthly order block. So Bitcoin bounced from this POI, and that was the first topping point on Bitcoin. If we go to the USDT chart on its own, that was this monthly pivot point order block. It was that simple. Okay, it was that simple. It was this monthly order block. Now, normally, your order block is supposed to be a bullish order block, the last bearish candle before the bullish expansion towards the upside. But because it's in this pivot point of key market structure right here, where you're making higher lows and higher highs, this is what I mean with a pivot point. It's right in that pivot point where price respects this local uptrend. If you only have that candle to look for and you can see the bullish expansion away from it, leaving still that inefficiency, you can use the order block as a bullish candle. Okay, that's a rule. So you can also see it worked in the past. Now, do we have a similar type of POI that we can look for when we are making higher lows and higher highs? Well, would you look at that? Following the monthly time frame, again in that pivot point, we left behind this bullish candle, which was the low, causing the second top on Bitcoin, which was the all-time high on Bitcoin in 2021. And we left behind this valid pivot point order block. It's the exact same POI. And why it's literally the exact same POI is not only that you have the exact same bottom here with the 1, 2, and 3, like you have here, the 1, 2, and 3, you even have this breaker to back it up right there. Look at that. You had the breaker to back it up. No, not for value gap. Let's make it blue. We can do this. It's fine. And then you have that here as well. Like, it's truly the exact same POI. Okay, it has a tiny mitigation here. You can use it below that mitigation. Like, it's literally the same POI. Okay, so now that we know that we have a very strong POI for the USDT dominance chart, where price is most definitely going to give a bounce. Okay, so the USDT dominance is 100% going to give a bounce here. What would that correlate to in terms of the price on Bitcoin? Okay, well, in general, if this thing, right, if this thing goes down, it's hard. It's here, right here. It's around 17% lower. Okay, it's around 17% lower. Typically, a 17% move, what has that given us so far? A 17% move is from the 1st of November. Let's check that out. That was right there. 20 to 30% possibility. I think that was also a bit of a harsh rejection. I'm not expecting the same. What was this candle? 25%. That was on the 1st of Feb. Was that on the 1st of Feb? That's a long time ago. That was also this move. 1st of Feb. Let's say 20%. Okay? Let's say a 20% move. You know? A 20% move on Bitcoin will bring us to 130K. Right? So if the USDT dominance goes down here, that means that Bitcoin could go to 130K. Based on basic pattern recognition, we have never broken the USDT dominance monthly uptrend. That is still intact and has never been broken since the history of this chart. Okay? The history of this chart. So if we reach that POI and Bitcoin goes to 120, 130, I'm expecting some sort of a high time frame topping structure to form based on what happened in the past. And it's funny that the double top on Bitcoin right here, right, where we actually went higher, was a higher low on the USDT dominance. Now, it works anti-correlated, so typically you would expect a lower low, right? But it was actually a higher low. So it could be that we bounce from here and then we put in a higher low. Wherever price, might end up forming some sort of crazy distribution whatsoever. Who knows? We don't know right now. But it could also be an accumulation in here. Like, that would be absolutely crazy. But in general, you cannot expect to go just to a 200K because you have to surpass this pivot point order block, which is so significant. I'm telling you, this is such a strong block. Guys, just pay attention to what happened when we SFP'd our low here. We SFP'd the low right here, the low that we put in on the 14th of March. We SFP'd that ever so slightly. Look at this SFP, okay? This SFP was 15%. It's this tiny move up. In this entire move down, it's this tiny move up. What did we see when the USDT dominance chart was SFPing it on the Bitcoin chart? What did we see? Let's go to Coinbase. It was the 5th of December. Let's go right here. Turn on that volume. 5th of December, we got this liquidation candle where we dumped 11%, which may not be that significant right now, but this was an SFP level that dumped us 11% on Bitcoin. What do you think is going to happen once we get a bounce right here? Honestly, what do you think is going to happen when we bounce more than 15% here, but we get a normal bounce that could be 30 easily? Like easily, right? You're going to get a harsh rejection. So my general thesis is Bitcoin can go up, reach a certain price point where the USDT dominance hits that monthly pivot point order block, which is the most key level on the USDT dominance chart. And from there, we go into a high time frame topping structure where I would love a triple top because it just shows the development into the maturity of Bitcoin. And when we have that triple top, it goes up, down, where people in the moment think that we're making higher lows and higher highs, and a lot is going on. When looking back, it was all just a simple range, and then in that macro range, your alts catch up like crazy, right? Your alts catch up like crazy. But as of now, there is no way that I am convinced we're gonna go to a 200K. Mind you, I'm a trader. I don't have an ego. I don't have something to say like, oh no, this needs to happen. I can't I can't be wrong. Guys, I can easily be quote unquote wrong, and price ends up bouncing, and we see major signs of weakness on that bounce, and we start closing high time frame candles within that block again after mitigating it. Yes, then we can start talking about higher prices. But you, in my opinion, cannot be convinced about higher prices as of right now when you have a support below you that is so significant. And the people that don't pay attention to this chart, they're just seeing a fib that's at 200K. Okay? They're just seeing a fib that's at 200K, and they're like, that's an amazing fib. It's a 1.618. It's a 2.618. It's a 3.618. We're going to go there. That's not how it works, okay? These POI zones are 10 times stronger than any fib you can pull. Even if you pull the negative fibs that I always tell you guys to pull, okay? And you guys know how strong they are. So, when we have to make a plan based on actual data and not about having a bias, since a lot of people in the space here, they come to the space not to learn, not to study, but to confirm the bias they already have. It's called confirmation bias, okay? You go there and you see a post and you like that post because it confirms with your bias. And the post that you don't like, you just don't look at. That's why people that only engagement farm get so many views, because the people that come to the space, they are invested in crypto. So they don't want to hear someone talk about a potential massive rejection once USDT dominance hits this. They want to hear about a fib going to 200K, right? Because they want to confirm the bias they already have instead of learning. So when we have to make a plan, as of now, I'm expecting a massive reaction from this level. If you want to talk about a super cycle, what needs to happen is that price, okay, bounces from this level, mitigates the level, and then we see some crazy signs of a distribution on that push up. So we can see a 1, we can see a 2, we can see a 3. If something like this happens, I'm like, okay, we're definitely coming back to this low, okay? Now, from there, you could always go over in a high time frame range, because the people that have watched the mentorship, you know how high time frame ranges get created, okay? You go up, you get a local distribution that ends up going into a bigger range that deviates and extends. Now, if from here we get a good close below this level, okay, after already mitigating it, now I'm talking about, price literally having the potential to sweep all of this, which would confirm crazy targets on Bitcoin because of some major event whatsoever. But as long as that's not the case, and I'm seeing an accumulation into this area, we're going to scale out with the market makers once Bitcoin dominance starts coming down, because literally the moment that you start accumulating here, Bitcoin dominance goes down, ETH BTC goes up, your altcoins go crazy, people call for 200K, topping structure, kaboom, kabang, it was all the same yet again, and people got trapped, right? So that's my plan as of now, and in my opinion, that's also the plan that every trader that trades based on previous data should have. Because if you talk so convincingly now about a super cycle and 200K, you're betting on something that has not happened. So how can you be so confident? You know, I like the dedication and the confidence, but how can you actually be so confident? Because even making the comparison to the gold ETF is not valid, because gold didn't have such established cycles, and gold is not crypto. It's as simple as that. Didn't have established cycles. Price action was completely different in the past. We had a massive 10-year long accumulation prior to the ETF coming out. So it's like, you can't make the comparison that gold went to a super cycle, so Bitcoin must as well. And then the last thing before I want Wyckoff Insider's opinion on this, the fact that I go on social media and I say and I tell the people to be cautious. I'm not even saying that we're going to top out. I'm not saying that there's a black swan event coming. I'm not saying any of that. The fact that I'm saying to be cautious, okay, because there is a super cycle narrative that has never happened in the past, and I get completely flamed for just telling the people to be cautious, confirms my entire theory, not even theory, confirms my entire idea, okay, that they already succeeded in mass propaganda. They already succeeded in it. And we're not even in the cycle, we're not even in the euphoria stage. And they already succeeded into brainwashing most retail investors into a super cycle. The fact that I say that you can be cautious, not like just cautious. I'm not telling you to sell. I'm telling you to stay objectively looking at the chart. Don't let your emotions get the best of you. I'm just saying to be cautious because we are at all-time highs after pumping 600% on $1 trillion asset class, and I get flamed for it. It confirms the entire fact that no one is ready. No one is ready for a rejection once it's going to come. Because the entire thing that I said regarding Black Swan, I didn't say and I didn't mean that there was going to be a Black Swan. What I meant was the big institutional firms, okay? The big institutional firms, they don't care if you make money. They have never given a single F about you. They care only about their own ROI. So when these institutional firms are talking so bullish about Bitcoin and are telling you that the super cycle narrative is coming, why would they want you to position yourself? Why would they want you to win? If Bitcoin was actually going to 1 million, why would they promote Bitcoin going to 1 million? Why? They don't want you to win. They want to position themselves before even price going up. So if they talk about Bitcoin going to 1 million publicly, why? Because they have never, ever, ever warned you for a potential top. That was my entire message I was trying to tell you guys. When have you seen a big institutional firm tell you to sell when it was appropriate to sell? When we were at all-time highs, when the top was in. They have never told you to sell when there was a top. So why would you believe them when they tell you to buy when we're at a top? They tell you to sell when we're at the bottom, and they tell you to buy when we're at the top. So don't believe the media, okay? But I'm telling you, I don't have an ego. I would love to be wrong. I would absolutely love to be wrong, because then we all make more money, okay? But we have a plan, we have a POI, and we're only going to change the plan if we get the confirmations to do so by price closing high time frame candles in this level, showing it's going to get disrespected. I went on the run here. We've been going for 30 minutes. I'm very curious about Wyckoff Insider, his take on this, but I'm guessing you kind of agree with me in some sort of sense. But I love to have discussions. Like, I love it.
Yeah, it's really funny because a lot of people, even people I respect a lot, very good traders, are talking about super cycles and mass adoption on Bitcoin. But yeah, just like you were saying, there's no data to prove we get a super cycle. It's only speculation. So betting on that is literally betting against the data. And yeah, like you said, we better be prepared for the worst case scenario. And the moment an exit trigger is flashing, we risk down. We make sure we take some positions out of the market. And if we have made life changing money, why would you stay in the market when exit triggers are flashing? Today I made a post about bread, and I asked people, what are your targets? When will you cash out bread? And then I see ridiculous targets like 80 billion, 60 billion, $5. And then I think the only good answer is we do not predict, we react. So the moment there will come a distribution, a higher time frame distribution, you get out, even if it's at 80 cents. Like that, our big friend Crash is saying that we go to 80 billion. That's not backed by any data. It's just he's just saying something. Nothing to him because he made a lot of money for a lot of people, but getting those crazy targets on beta plays to Pepe is just not. It's just not it. If Pepe goes to 50 billion, we can be happy. So yeah, that's my opinion on this stake.
Yeah, it's and the thing is, guys, we're talking about Bitcoin here, right? I'm talking about, a potential 130K top for Bitcoin, and then from there go into a high time frame range, right? We haven't even had a glimpse of what a euphoric alt season looks like, an actual euphoric one, because that's going to happen once we start that range. Bitcoin always moves first, and Bitcoin has still been moving first because we are still going up, right? You can see right here, we're still going up. Like, it hasn't had a monthly bearish candle ever since that September bottom. So we're still moving up. Bitcoin is still moving first. So when we whip up some charts right here regarding Bitcoin dominance right here, I made a video today on my socials regarding my expectations of Bitcoin dominance, and we're gonna align that with, let's do a total 3 right here. Just make that candles. I always get. Do you know how to? I think I need to change the defaults. No, because I always get
Yeah.
the line chart, and I just change these
Yeah,
settings.
it's also glitching by me with me.
Save as default. We're gonna see how that ends up going. But can I put this in log to make it better? There you go. Stretch this out. And no, guys, I'm not going to be putting log fibs on this chart. That's not me. I don't have the data to back up that. But I know a lot of people like to use the log fibs. They give great expectations. But right here, if we look at where are we at in this cycle, and man, why is this so massive? Is this always the case? I feel like it's just on my chart.
No, it's not the case by mine.
Oh, yeah, I also don't know what that is. Okay, but right here, we have the total 3 below. Let's make that clear. We have Bitcoin dominance above, Bitcoin dominance. Boom, boom, right here. Very simple and effective. And then we have total 3 below. Okay, so what we're seeing right here is that, boom, is that the moment, this is the previous all-time high. Previous all-time high. Okay. Let's make it a bit bigger. Previous all-time high. What we see is that the moment we touch that previous all-time high, the top was in for the Bitcoin dominance. Okay. Actually, the candle afterwards, I'm seeing it now. The moment we approach the all-time high, the candle on the monthly time frame prior to taking out the previous all-time high, we topped out on the Bitcoin dominance chart. Okay. Now, right here, if we want to put that all-time high on our chart, I think we just tapped it. I think we just SFP'd that all-time high, and we can see yet again that potentially, right? Because we did break structure there on the weekly, not on the 3-day time frame. Potentially, we have the exact same where the candle prior to taking out your previous all-time high, okay, is actually the top on the Bitcoin dominance chart. Like you can see, it happened right here, and it could happen right here, and we did come into a level. Okay, this was indeed also a resistance level. Now, the big point I'm trying to make is I actually need to add one more thing. But just looking at the total 3 in the Bitcoin dominance, when your altcoins, and I'm going to say your micro coins, okay, really started to run was in this area right here. Because that's when you saw Bitcoin dominance truly lose its percentage in the market. Okay. So truly, when we had these last few crazy candles on the total 3 chart, that's when Bitcoin dominance topped out. Or not bottomed out. Okay, my apologies. Bottomed out. Now, when Bitcoin dominance is dropping this hard, your alts are truly going significantly hard. Okay? Because if we now add, and I like to do H bar, just because H bar was a 200 mil market cap project, and it had a decent narrative, but nothing like crazy. So I don't like to use a Matic. Okay, I don't like to use a Matic because Matic was one of the craziest performers last cycle. So how can you, again, people make a comparison to Matic doing a 40x the moment Bitcoin dominance started to drop. But how do you know your coin is going to be a Matic of this cycle? You just don't. You can have an idea, but you don't. So I rather just want to see what an average coin did last cycle than a special performer. Okay? I don't know if we have all the data on the Bybit perpetual chart. No, we don't. Let's do Binance. Is there data here? Yeah, there is. Okay. Oh man, how am I gonna make this pretty? Boom. Boom. Let's make this log. Boom. Okay. Same levels. Always got to be clean, guys. So, looking at what an H bar did, the moment we reach this stage on Bitcoin dominance, right, where let's make this blue, because like we already have red on the chart. Let's make that blue. Let's make this also blue. Difference in colors. The moment where total 3 went into price discovery, Bitcoin dominance started to lose its ground. And that's exactly that moment when we peaked out on the Bitcoin dominance chart is when, an H bar went absolutely parabolic. And for the people that wonder, this is around a 10x on H bar, which was a 10x on a normal project that was around 200 mil market cap, right? So I like to use that thesis going forward in the cycle where the true euphoric, price action on your alts will happen once Bitcoin dominance yet again starts to lose its ground and hits one of these key, POYs that we have at the bottom, while total 3 right here is going into price discovery. And then, let's say we can call this your Andy, because I think most of the people in the chat also love Andy, is when it could pull off a 5 to 10x, right? So that's where we are at based on alts. Okay, that's where we're at based on alts. As of now, from my POV on the market, there's truly nothing crazy happening or nothing out of the ordinary compared to last cycle. I don't know if you have figured some stuff out that's like significantly different, but for me it's kind of all the same. The one thing I do have to say, the one thing is what's so significant for me is if I open the total 3 chart only right here. Let's pull up the total 3 on its own. And this is something, oh yeah, I get it all mixed up. And this is something that that I have taken heavily notes on. Okay, I've taken some good notes on this. Is that we literally, and also especially you, Wyckoff Insider, you I think you posted this like 11 times. We had this massive PO3. Truly, we had this massive PO3 formation, and we absolutely smashed the bottom of this. Like, this was such a clean bottom. I think you made 11 posts about this. Also, that entire reaccumulation schematic when we were going public with our profiles, it was all very obvious, okay? And we can say it was obvious because we said it was obvious. And exactly what happened played out. So we have the right to say it now. But right here on that reaccumulation schematic, I was mainly invested in smaller cap projects. Okay, I do have a Tau, I do have a Super, but I was more focused and invested in smaller cap projects. That smaller bag hasn't been performing that great when comparing it to my higher market cap bag. Because this pump right here, this specific pump, has caused a major increase in price on the total 3 chart, but not so much by my small caps going up, more so by high caps going up and adding billions of dollars to its market cap within days. Actually, days. And that's something that was new to me personally, that the entire total 3 pump that we were expecting was playing out, but I didn't get the returns I was thinking on my smaller market cap portfolio. I'm not hearing you. I'm not sure.
Do you hear me?
Yeah, now I hear you.
All right, nice. Yeah, it was weird, like that the high caps took all the liquidity. But yeah, that's the trick the market makers do, and then people will switch to high caps again, and then the low caps will run.
That's what I'm saying, and I think that's something everyone listening right now should make notes of, right? Where it's harder. It's you can fact check it, you can double check it by looking at the previous cycle, because you kind of had something similar. Because you also had this rounded up bottom effect. Like, this is not a picture perfect TCT model, but it's definitely something that we trade a lot of the times when investing into projects. If we see this rounding up effect, okay, and you just have to identify which projects pumped when this pump was happening right here. This pump, when you were pumping towards your previous all-time high. If we can fact check that and you can see it was your majors that were performing extremely well, your high caps, then, you can, I think, even for next cycle and going forward in general, make a lot of money by playing the high caps and then rotating into the low caps. Because I'm telling you, all those old Dino coins, they did 3 to 4 X's when your low caps didn't. They didn't move. Some moved, some didn't, right? It depends on which one you were in. But in general, the biggest moves were from the old Dino coins, pulling off 200 to 300% moves, 3 to 4 X's, right? So I think that's something definitely to pay attention to for the next time we get something similar, And people will not pay attention to it right now because it already happened, and they're like, yeah, well, that's going to be like in 3 years from now. they're gonna fall. You're gonna fall for the same trap if you don't note it down now, right?
Yeah,
So trust me, note
it's
it
so
down.
weird that like 95% will fall for the exactly same trap as last cycle. It's so
Yeah.
weird to yeah for me to think about it, but it will happen. It's so weird.
It's because people don't reflect. It's like when an idea didn't work out, they kind of shove that idea to the side and forget about it. And then when an idea did play out, it's like they're the almighty gods of this cycle.
Yeah, I hope people are studying hard because the
Yeah, and
FOMO will get so crazy in a few weeks. Oh,
yeah, weeks to months. I'm so curious, bro. Like if I could fast forward to just see what happened, man, that would make us all very rich if I could do that. But we can't, right? So as of now, I like to make my quote unquote predictions based on basic pattern recognition of what happened in the past. And if that gets proven wrong, we will adapt. Now, there will be people calling you um, a flip flop guy that flip biases this and that, but they just don't understand how to win. They don't understand how to win. Okay.
yeah, Lars, can you explain them that, for example, if we post something bearish on Bitcoin locally, that doesn't really matter for our portfolios, and also that a lot of people are asking for daily updates on Andy, but they just need to zoom out for the higher time frame. What's your take on this?
What exactly do you mean when we're posting a bearish setup on Bitcoin?
Or
It's
if we post and bearish setup on, for example, on Andy, that it doesn't really matter because you're not gonna cash out to buy back lower, or how do
Yeah,
you look at that?
so what we do, right? What we do is, for example, like it just happened. I posted potential scenarios for Wolf and for Andy. So if we go to the Wolf chart right now, right here. That's an amazing recovery, hey? I was like, I'm hoping we're gonna pump because otherwise we're gonna go lower. But right, I posted this negative fib zone. Oh, I'm on the logarithmic chart. Let me, yeah, there you go. So I posted this negative fib zone. Now the people know how strong my negative fib POIs are. Okay, they're like, how did you draw it? Guys, I've explained it 10,000 times how I draw it. Like the first high time frame structure break back to bullish, it has the strongest negative fib. So this was a high time frame structure break back to bullish right here. I pulled the fib from the swing low to the swing high, and then this is your negative 618 to your negative 1, which is kind of like my negative quote unquote golden pocket of the fib POIs. And I was like, we can expect a rejection here. Okay, I was like, we can expect a rejection here. We've been going up extremely hard. People are like, what rejection? I simply am posting this. I'm posting we can expect a rejection. If we do come down, this is a massive buy opportunity. And if you think about this, right, it just looks extremely healthy. You fill some inefficiency, you mitigate some amazing demand because you know how much I love high time frame range demand getting overlapped by, lower time frame range demand. Like, I absolutely love those levels. So I post a simple chart. Hey, you can expect some sort of a rejection here. If, big importance, if we come down to this POI, you can look to add more, which in my opinion is like your last opportunity because I am not buying. Like, I'm not buying above this level. A back test of the level could potentially be a buy, but in general, the buying opportunities were in here. Okay. Now, people then completely ignore that and then also completely ignore the fact that we did retrace 30% from the level, but as of now, we're putting in a higher low for the higher high following this daily or 18-hour market structure pool, which is absolutely amazing as of now, right? It could turn around, it could still come down, it could come higher, deviate this, and then still come down before higher, or just blast off. We always have multiple scenarios, and based on market structure, we confirm one, right? But people just completely ignore the fact that there is a possibility reject. And the reason why I posted is I am not selling. Okay. I am not selling when we are on the verge of Bitcoin dominance turning over, ETH BTC pumping higher. I showed you the data of what can happen to your altcoin. So I'm not selling. However, I'm a trader. So when you buy at a POY where you plan to buy, and you don't chase green candles. So even though I'm convinced we're going to go much higher on Wolf, if someone asks me, should I buy then? No. You should have bought earlier at a POY that was good to buy, right? So, because we don't chase green candles. Now, if you had no position and you didn't know what was going on, you may have bought right in here because we were pumping highs after highs and people just talk about, bullish structure going higher, higher lows and higher highs. So the post is about the fact that you can expect a potential rejection in case you're still looking to add on a retrace, while also preventing people from making stupid decisions and just mentally prep them for a retracement, because most people don't look at the chart, but they look at their portfolio and they see their portfolio that's full ported in the boys club minus 30%. And they're like, should I sell? Should I sell? No, because it's a healthy retracement. So it eases your mind, okay? Now, when I see other major coins coming into potential rejection areas, what I'm looking at is to open up a short position based on Wyckoff confirmations, based on TCT schematics forming. Because what you can then do, if you get the confirmation to short, you can enter a short position that hedges out your entire portfolio, make money on the move down, and with the money you make, buy back more at the lows because you were in a short. Whereas if you were wrong, that's completely fine because you're in great risk management, risking 1% of the portfolio, and you just stuck to the plan. And as a trader, if you have a proven system, the only thing that's up to you is sticking to the plan. So it's a win-win because your crypto portfolio goes nuclear, but you lose 1% on the trade because you thought you were going to go down. And this is how we continuously trade inside of our community. We focus on everyday, day-to-day setups, while I also post swing macro analysis and Wyckoff Insider posts about meme rotations. But the focus from a trading perspective is stacking up those compounded gains every single day, every single week. So also when you do retrace and you're not in a short, you have stacked that cash up to reinvest. Because as Wyckoff Insider always says, it's always good to have a cash position on the side.
Bro, if you know, you know. It's not good for the blood pressure to be fully positioned in the market.
Imagine having always just cash ready. You know how much easier your life would be and how much easier it is to survive in these crypto markets when you just have always cash, because you're always trading and consistently compounding those gains. When I talk about making 5% a week, bro, I don't think the average crypto investor would even look at my message. Oh, 5% a week is nothing. Bro, if you can compound that 5% a week, you have so much money, okay? So much money. And if you just kept on doing that throughout the entire time that we were in a macro range on Bitcoin for 200 days, where your altcoins went minus 70%, you would have been able to create generational wealth by buying at these lows like we told you to. Like, you cannot get mad at us for, and I'm not talking to my viewers, I'm talking to in general, right? But you cannot get mad at us when we tell you not to buy right now, when we told you to buy at these exact bottoms. And it's all on the profile. You can just search it up, right? So I'm just excited for what we have ahead. But I just want my followers to just stay level-headed. That's all. Because when I say confirmation bias, the reason why I know it so well is because unintentionally, we all do it a bit. Like, we all do it a tiny, tiny bit. When you're invested in that project and the chart doesn't look the best anymore, but you see a post about someone talking about, it's going to do a 10x, you still feel a little bit better. You still feel a bit better. Like, everyone has it. I even have it. But then I have to stay level-headed, look at the chart, be objective, and make a decision based on my rules. Okay? So That's what I try to push on these markets. I'm not a fudder. I'm not someone that's bearish. No, we lay out every scenario. We pre-plan everything because planning is the fucking key to success, guys. If you can just plan everything and have it also actually planned, not just in your head, but on paper, and you see that plan, and you can just, in the moment of pure euphoria and chaos, you can identify the things that you wrote down and you see them happening one by one. That's how you win. A lot of people are going to be up a lot of money this cycle, but only a few people are going to realize money this cycle. Okay? It's not when retail is coming that you should be worried. It's when retail is celebrating because they are in massive profits. And even the people that realize profits in this cycle will still end up losing the profits 6 to 12 months later because they thought the bottom was in and they just bought the dip that kept dipping. I'm telling you, if we have to give numbers, I don't have the data, but hypothetical, let's say 20%, let's say 10% makes money. And that's a generous number, okay? I would say 90% loses in the end. So let's say 10% makes money. Of that 10%, you can even cut it in half of the people that actually keep that money. Because they're going to buy a dip that they think is the bottom and that keeps on dipping, and then they cash out because they're scared, and then boom. You buy back in later, having your money in half almost, right? So it's such a little percentage. And, most people think that they are better than they actually are. And I'm not trying to roast any of you, okay? Like, just to not confess, because I've said that multiple times, but I'm also a guy that keeps on learning. But I do have a guy, I am that guy that can put my ego to the side, realize that I'm potentially not good enough yet, and then learn and study more to get good enough to be able to predict these moves. I opened a long position the previous cycle right here. 68,550. I'll never forget it. I opened a long position right there because I thought I was that guy because I was up a lot of money. And when you're up a lot of money, you think you're that guy. You're not. If you haven't been able to accurately call this range or just this price action in general from here till now, what makes you think that you can call the future incoming price action? If you haven't been able to call this price action, generally, why do you have so much conviction that you can call the upcoming price action? Because it's gonna be just as manipulative, even more, in even crazier euphoria environments. So ask yourself, reflect back right now. If you haven't been able to accurately call this price action, what makes you think you're gonna do it the next upcoming 6 to 12 months? Okay? And if you, actually reflect and think, okay, did I not, or did I did do it? And you say like, oh, okay, I didn't. Well, then study people that did, right? Everyone has a track record on social media. Just scroll through the post. Just scroll through it. The same way you do research before you buy a project, the same way you should also do research when you follow certain people. So just research the people and then follow them while studying yourself. That's how you're going to succeed. Okay? So that's a little my little motivational rant. And we all start somewhere, right? We all start somewhere. I've been in the markets. Like, people say I've been in the markets for 10 years. Bro, you can say 10 years, but if you check your phone once a day and you know about it for 10 years, you haven't been in the markets for 10 years. Since December 2020, I've dedicated my entire life to the markets. So I may only be in the markets for 4 years, but it's been 4 years of 10-hour days, right? So that for some people could be their 10-year experience in the markets. Now, there are going to be people that have even more experience. I'm not saying I'm the best experience or the craziest. I'm just saying it's been 10-hour days for 4 years, and that brings you very far. So, and that's what it takes, that's what it takes. That's why we, have created our own models that we see work based on back testing and data gathering and all that stuff, and how we right now call these high time frame pivot points with ease. Because, guys, we trade, personally, I trade on the low time frames. I trade 5 to 10 minute ranges. You can trade daily ranges the exact same as your 5 to 10 minute range. You just have way more time to make a decision. You have way more time to analyze, making it so much easier. But the only thing from a psychological standpoint, so much harder because you have time capitulation. I've been ranting, bro. I got liquidated,
Nice.
Mrs. Akira or Mr. Akira. Look at Hoppy. I actually want to look at Hoppy because we've been calling for an accumulation there. Can you look at Hoppy? Because my Dex is always glitching.
Yes, I can. Check.
Now, Mr. Masoy, are alts going to drop hard when that first correction on Bitcoin comes? Typically, if Bitcoin will reject 20 to 30%, then yes, your alts are going to correct as well. But we have to look at where alts are at in the cycle when that happens. If we see ETH BTC pumping, if we see Total 3 pumping, if we see alts pumping in general coming into that POI, then yes, we can expect a 50% rejection.
I have the Hopi chart.
The Caspa chart. I don't think you want me to go over Caspa, brother.
Well, let me quickly look. I want to check.
I want you to not say a word and just put dots on the chart if you zoom out. Because I want you to study. Yeah. Just put dots. If you actually had to draw a macro range. No. The macro range. Yeah. If you actually had to draw the macro range. And then where did we come in to on that last push up? Into extreme supply. Like, yeah, close it ASAP. Like,
Yeah, but it's weird. Like,
I'm not expecting it, right? I'm not expecting it, but I cannot be bullish on the chart like that. You know what I mean?
no, it's not just not bullish. It's like, imagine you bought like right here, and you're still holding through this range.
How many days?
400 days, bro.
400 days, bro. God damn.
What the hell?
God
But
damn.
yeah, going back to Hoppy. Yeah, it's just in this accumulation range. But we need to break mark structure. ETH needs to do good. But yeah, this will send. Like,
Yeah.
sense of strength would be this. It's that simple. Right now we cannot be bullish because you also have this local range going on, where this your initial range high, this your initial range low. But yeah, if you break mark structure, you confirm that you come back to this high, and then the accumulation is confirmed, in my opinion, and we will go to here. So I'm positioned in Hoppy. So yeah, can send.
Yeah, we bought at that break of structure on the LPS, the first LPS. And like, yeah, we did SFP that high, but as long as we, break structure like you said, then this can just be a second LPS, which is very normal. Like, it's very normal. But in general, I like Hoppy a lot. It's like, Pepe Beta, but then from kind of like a different perspective. It's not the boys club, but also from like this comic. I don't know the exact names. I just know it's Pepe Beta from a different narrative. Whereas, Pepe Beta is always a decent play in the memes. And then also Hoppy. Hoppy is a cute ass character. Like, from all the characters that we have, I'm getting scared. Have you seen that like that new Pepe post with like the 3D Pepe?
No.
bro, can you go to can you go to X and can you go to Pepe? Like they're posting these animation characters of Pepe now. It's it's scary. I don't know if it's posted on the Pepe chart. Yeah.
What the hell?
Bro, it freaks me the fuck out.
I'm inside your walls.
I'm like, and you go to Hoppy now. Search search Hoppy. Like Hoppy is just cute.
This one. Yeah, it's so funny.
Yeah,
Like
look at
he's
Hoppy.
chilling.
Like, look how cute. Look at that.
Bro, this shit will stand because if Peppa goes full send motion again, the rotations will happen. And also if ETH is like at 6K.
Like these
Yeah.
are good ass memes, bro. I love it. I absolutely love it. And I love the chart, you know? I love the chart. Higher lows, higher highs, you know, 60% pullback, reaccumulation, especially after someone clipped 1 million in a single candle where your SC started. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah, someone clipped 1 milli there, bro.
And guys, that's also what's going to happen at the end of the bull run. Of course, there will be way more volume. But yeah, if Hoppy, for example, doesn't get like a tier 1 listing, and with a tier 1 listing, I just mean like Binance, Bybit, Bybit not even, just Binance and Coinbase. Bro, if people start clipping their 1% backs like the whales, it's just a rug pull. So it will get crazy at the end of the bull run.
And you know, it's you can see what happened prior to that clipping candle. You already have it on the chart, you know, it's a beautiful distribution. Like that's what's gonna happen prior to it. They're not just gonna have one position that they full clip. They're already selling.
What's Andy doing? So
yeah, I was talking in the stream that you were not a fan of my distribution range. That people said
it's
in the
only
chat.
yeah, it's only that you already took the low right here. But yeah, low with Andy, it's not really trading.
No, but
you can trade it leverage.
Yeah, no, but you didn't take the low because how you do it is you have that accumulation model. So initially, if can you delete everything from your chart? Yeah, perfect. So Pepe or like Andy comes back down, and then has the reaccumulation model. How do you pull your range for that reaccumulation? Boom. Perfect. Yeah. So that's your current range. Now that range is an accumulation model and brings you towards your main market structure high. Where now if you zoom out, you pull your range on the high time frame from top to bottom. And then you don't apply that deviation. That's how, yes, perfect. Now the thing is, we have an 18-hour order block.
Oh, this one.
Yeah. So that's why, you know, we do have a distribution at the moment on Andy. It's looking like, did we just sweep? I had a POI there. I think we just came in it. I think we just. Oh yeah, look at that. Wait, I'm gonna steal this. Oh no, you have it. You have it already. Yeah. Oh damn. Well, that POI was there.
Oh.
So I had that POI there, you know, and I was like, if we come in there and we break structure back to bearish, I am respecting a move down, right? Well, that's what we're currently seeing. We just have the 18-hour order block that's kind of like in your way, but
Bro, but I don't understand. I want this.
you know why I want that? You know why I want that so much? Like you need to put that POI in the chart that I posted. It's a crazy strong POI, bro. Like
You have like a fixed range profile also, right?
it's the everything here. You can see it on my chart. It's like you have the weekly order block right here. This is just a weekly order block. And that's getting overlapped with this daily breaker. And then I think from like macro, I don't know which fib it was. You have macro fib 705, but you also had, I think it was this most local one right here, 786 falling just above it. And then I think it was from this entire, yeah, look at that, bro. Oh my lord. Because I was already talking about seeing this as a potential massive accumulation model, right? So the thing is, you guys inspired someone to cheat there, Andy. No, I was about to say this, okay? I was about to say this. When I post the POI, I posted this POI, okay? With the following exact words. I said, if we come down there, okay, prior to going into price discovery, you bid. You don't think and you bid. If we go into price discovery and we leave it behind, it could be your bear market bottom. Those were my exact words. You know what people reply? We're never going to get there. You fodder. You're never going to get there. And I'm like, I was so happy to see people reply to those people saying you did not get the point. Like I didn't even have to defend myself. People in my post already replied for me. So I was like, oh man, I did not lose hope in society. But like, if I post a POI, it's not the same as when Wyckoff Insider posts a magnet. The price doesn't have to go there. That's what I'm saying, if it goes there. Now, if this 18-hour order block gets disrespected based on the size of this distribution that we're currently seeing, where we're SFPing the previous all-time high because this wick was not there on DEX, you could definitely have the fuel to come to here. That's not what you want to hear, but that is what you need to hear. But again, I am bidding there. I am not selling. Okay? I'm bidding.
Bro,
someone
give me
full
that
clipped
POI.
300K of Andy. That's crazy. You know who that is? A whale that create these distributions.
And he has the right to do it. Because, guys, take ownership. If you have a position in a coin and you want to sell it, sell it. If you want to buy, buy. If you want to sell, sell. Take ownership.
I don't know if this person is like just an absolute comedian right now, or that he's that serious.
Bro, I hope for him
I hope he's fucking with us.
trolling. Maybe you can confirm.
I don't know.
Because otherwise I will lose some brain cells again.
No, I recognize No Way Jose. He's in our server. I recognize saying that name, and that made me laugh. No Way Jose. You're in our server, no? I remember saying No Way Jose, or it was on a live stream. I don't know, but I remember the name No Way Jose.
He's in the whale chat.
He's in the whale chat. Well, someone in the whale chat just clipped 300K, brother.
But then, if you are in the whale chat, or when somebody clips like a lot, they all know each other wallets. Are they all gonna fire that person? Like,
yeah, I am pretty curious. If you're in the will chat, was this guy in the will chat or not? Because if you clip 300K, you are a whale. Most likely. But I also think, like, I am not expecting this to play out particularly, but you cannot ignore price action. Like, this is just price action, right? So, like the same, It's the exact same as what happened here when I talked about this distribution. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's no way that's gonna happen. And then look what happens. Boom, boom. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's no way it's gonna happen. Boom, boom. You know? So
Just give me it. Give me the POI.
I would love it because I'll just add more.
I
I'll
shared
love it
my
because I'll just add more.
opinion. Y'all got some weird energy. Well, we
What's
have
weird
weird
about
energy.
just talking about the potential for rejection? If that's weird energy, then I don't know.
But you just explained that we are not selling our Andy to buy back lower. No, we give POI zones where we can buy more.
Yeah, so you have
So
POI 1. So if you see signs of strength, if you see something like this, right, and you see an aggressive breaker structure back to bullish, the distribution is most likely failing. Okay? Now, if that doesn't happen, and if we lose this POI, we are 100,000% coming towards the range low, or at least extreme liquidity, but I'm expecting the range low. Okay? Now, if you see signs of strength from there, boom, you can add back. If you don't get that, voila, POI number 3. I don't care if you go to POI 3 or not. We just pre-plan it. I don't care about no way that's not going to happen. What if it does happen? Well, then you're not prepared. You can still prepare for each scenario and then see what price action gives you, right? No, but the thing is, right? The funny thing is is that I just explained that I am posting about a POI and that doesn't relate to the fact that we are gonna go there. No, I'm just saying if we go there. And then I was making fun of the people saying that won't happen in my previous post because that wasn't the point of the message. The message was if we go there. And then you just said the exact same thing. So I don't know if you were joking or not. That was the funny thing. But it's all good, brother. But I recognize your name. I recognize saying no way, Jose. But I don't know if it's from the live streams or from the server. Glenn Fontaine, he always wants to know what's up with Shrub.
Shrub
I
is
think
just
still the
in the
same.
range.
It's still in the same range. Let me check. Is it this chart? Yeah. It's still in this range. You want to
For
see
like
some
80 days,
yeah,
30 days. Something.
like it's not really structured here. I want to see it close above this high. I think if you can call and close above that high, you can start making your way up again.
So yeah,
Again,
Lars,
with the
we have been going for long. I need to go because it's 30 minutes before 4.
yeah, for you it's a long time. Well, we'll have to see. You moved to Bali, so maybe we have to do something regarding the times. But like, the only other option probably is later, which is only more and more inconvenient. Um. So
This time is fine.
yeah, absolute warrior. W in the chat for Mr. Wyckoff Insider. But yeah, guys, we have I was just reading some chats. We've been going for an hour and almost 30 minutes, which is around our time. I have hopefully explained me good enough to the point where, as of now, in my opinion, we cannot talk about a 200K target based on the support levels on USDT dominance that are way more significant than any fib level. Okay, so if we see um, other scenarios confirming and we see signs of weakness on the bounce and USDT dominance, we adapt to the information that the market gives us. So I appreciate all of you for being here. We have 2,000 viewers. Absolutely insane. I hope I could have been of value, especially if you're just tuning in now. I highly suggest you go and rewatch the beginning of the live stream where I talk about the macro analysis of where are we in the cycle and price targets that we can potentially expect. Okay. I love every single one of you. I hope it was valuable to you guys. And we will be back tomorrow, same time, same shit, just a different day. And if you guys want to follow us more or want to see more of us, we are active inside of the TCT trading community. Put it on the screen right here, where we post just our day trading setups, where we trade on a daily basis. We have a London Open and New York Open live streams. I also post about macro analysis, exit triggers, swing positions. Literally today, Wyckoff Insider made a crazy post about the entire alpha memes, the rotations into the betas, all that stuff. So if you want to trade, if you want to swing trade, if you want to be a spot investor, it can be beneficial to all. It has been a crazy fast growing community. We have over 1,100 people inside of the circle already, and we are literally right now live for 2 months. So you can go to the tcttrading.com website and you can join the community through there. And I would love to see you on the other side. Any last message, Mr. Wyckoff Insider?
Thanks for watching, guys, and I see you tomorrow.
Peace out,
Ciao.
guys.